It's a great bounce back game for us tonight. It was great to see the ball go in the basket far greater than it did the other night against NC State. It was nice to see Nikki, the way she bounced back after having a tough night. The only frustrating point or piece of the game is, again, our turnovers. We want to be under 11, and once again, we were careless tonight, I thought, especially in the first half. And we got to fix that. We got to figure out how to fix that. Because, that could have been, we're trying to average right around 80 points. Anytime you turn it over the way that we did, that's a possession lost. And, maybe we could have got our game goal tonight of 80 points if we just did a better job of taking care of the basketball. I think a lot of that had to do with they were a little bit out of sync there against the zone. They elevated their wings and were playing high, and I think we were trying to lead people to the open areas. But there's one thing about being the ball handler and leading somebody that's not willing to move into that open space. And we'll have great film. And there's going to be a lot of teaching moments as we continue to see, and I'm sure we will, see zone throughout the season. I'm really proud of our guys, how they bounced back after a really, tough night the other night in terms of, our lack of being able to score with any kind of ease. So it's a great way to start out the Big Ten conference schedule.
You talked about kind of a bounce back game, so to speak. What kind of did you see from your team's confidence level of shooting the ball from after the past 3 games, kind of compared to
I don't think we saw any different, nothing different. I think that we were confident going into the NC State game that we were going to hit shots. My job is just completely to support and give our kids confidence. We don't talk about missing shots. We don't talk about people, whether there's individuals that aren't shooting the ball as well. My job is to pour into them and support them and encourage them and give them confidence. And that's where it stays.
Haley, go ahead. Right here. Sorry. Thank you. Penn State had multiple scoring droughts, so is that a testament to how much you've been working with your defense?
Yeah, I think we've really been pleased, even against NC State. We were pleased with a lot of the things we did defensively. When you look at the category of free throw shot on, Penn State's side, there was 0. So that means we're moving our feet, we're being sound. Our rotations are where they need to be. Now they missed shots, but I'd like to think that had a lot to do with, us defensively. But I'm really proud of the fact that they didn't even make a trip to the free throw line tonight. I think that's pretty uncommon in a 40-minute game.
Skip, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Congratulations
Thanks,
on the win.
Skip.
You had the opportunity this game, thankfully, for some fast breaks. How did you feel about the transition offense tonight?
I still think that, we're a team that wants to play fast and get downhill. And I think sometimes we're guilty, especially Allie Patberg. We feel like we're interchangeable on the perimeter, meaning that any of our guards can get it and go. And I thought there were a couple moments there tonight where Allie, Chloe Moore-McNeil gets the rebound or gets the outlet, and instead of running the floor, Allie Patberg, sort of stays back, hangs back, and it disrupts us from being able to get any kind of a hit ahead or get the ball up the floor. And so, we discussed that a couple times, whether it was on the sideline, but we'll go back because I don't feel like we're getting the runouts that we probably could. I think, our guards have to catch it a little bit further out with their, rear ends to the sideline, and they got to be catching the ball on the run. And then the wings have to be committed to sprinting and running to the baseline, and then and or to the basket. And so that's things in practice that I'll be honest with you, we we've since the Bahamas have been in just prep mode, for NC State, and then we had a quick turnaround. We had to play Penn State, so we're kind of looking forward to the moment where we can sort of catch our breath, and we have a period of time, whether it's 3 or 4 days, where we can just work on us and get back to, not just watching film, but really doing it, implementing it, and talking about it in practice, and really just repping it. And so we will, our guards understand, Allie and I were over there. She understood there were moments where she did lag back and she needed to be running and sprinting. And so she recognized that on her own, which is always a good thing.
Question all the way in the back, Grace.
You talked about this being a bounce back game for Nikki. When she's able to get going, what does that spark that she has provide for the team overall?
Well, again, I thought it was good for her that she got to see the ball drop. But what Nikki provides for us is just what she does defensively, and she creates havoc for other point guards. She disrupts them. She doesn't make anything easy, when she's on the ball. And then, she got her some steals. She manages always, it seems, at least to get 1 or 2 fouls, somebody pushing off because she's in their space. So, she causes a lot of disruption. But I think for her, it's probably not a good thing, but I think it does happen to all athletes when they see their shot go in. It seems like that does something for them defensively as well. I think everything elevates, when you see that shot go down. And I thought tonight she was really good on both sides.
Question on the last row, Lou, go ahead. Go ahead.
Coach, on your scheduling with those, Stanford and North Carolina State early, are you taking anything from that? Have you learned anything from those games?
Oh, yeah.
Playing that,
Yeah.
that can help you later in the
Yeah, I think right now we're trying to, and I want to say this in the right way. We're still a program that we're sort of in new territory. And I say that, yes, we've been ranked. Yes, we went to the Elite Eight. But that's for we did a lot of firsts last year, right? And so I think we are trying to figure out, our staff, but also our players, how to manage the expectations from everybody. And I want our kids to just forget about sort of keep the noise out, keep their blinders on, and just keep doing what we've always done. And that's be about each other and us really be good defensively. And then us sharing the ball. I want our assists to go up. And I want to make it real easy for our kids that we don't have to be anything extraordinary, but who we are. And I think sometimes with media, the pundits, everybody out there, they put so much pressure on these kids. And what people are forgetting is that this is sort of it's a new era, it's a new territory that we're just trying to figure out how we can manage it, how we can excel in it, and how we can have success in it. So I think to add to you didn't ask me about that, but I think playing the Stanfords and realizing that that's the, they won the national championship and we're right there, does something good for your team, right? The NC State, we could look at that so many different ways. If we hit a couple more threes, the outcome's completely different. If we hit just a couple more twos, maybe the outcome's different, right? And we're sitting here talking about coming up short against Stanford, but beating number 2 in the country, NC State. So what I do know about this team is that they feel they have the confidence that they can play with anybody. And so that's why you schedule that way, is because we want to test ourselves against the very best. But with that comes expectations from outside people, right? We weren't supposed to win. We weren't supposed to beat NC State, according to the media, right? That's a second-ranked team. We were number 6, right? So on paper, we weren't supposed to win. Now, we knew that we should have won, right? We could have won, but that's all woulda, shoulda, couldas, right? But so it's different, and we're learning, we're working through all those things right now. But to say that, again, and it's exciting. Pressure is a privilege, and we believe that. We really do, and we're excited about having the pressure. But I want to make sure that people realize that, for some of us, this is new. Indiana women's basketball has never been, where it is right now. you know, and so there might be a few growing pains that we have to go through, even though we have an experienced team. The pressure's different.
Matt on the left here, Coach.
Well, I guess talking about pressure, something you mentioned with Grace Berger, I think about for the Miami game you may have said, talking about kind of looking for stats and kind of trying to not press as much. And she's now had a few quiet games in a row. Not a great shooting night again tonight for her. I guess, are there anything you're working on with her to kind of help her get back to, I guess, the first few games where she was putting up almost 20 points a game?
Same thing I said, you know, it's my job is to put my arm around her and remind her that she's one of the best players in the country, right? And know that her work will continue, and Grace Berger will start, you know, whether it's Thursday night, whether it's Saturday. Grace Berger's going to be Grace Berger. And here's the thing about great players. They still find ways to impact the game. And what may not show up in the TP category, look at her other stats. She impacts the game. And once that shot starts falling for her, then we won't be talking about Grace Berger anymore, right? Other than just the impact that she's had on this program.